All right, today we have a special guest, Brad Smith, the founder of Automation Links. Welcome, Brad.
Scott and Ian, thanks for having me. Looking forward. We're old friends, so it's like catching up again. Ian, we traded our hours for building things online and becoming better leaders, and that I want to talk about today too. But then also not having to trade our hour for $1. Now we're building things that compound and help more people. I'm glad that you guys reached out and we're connecting. Some big changes in my life. Some, leadership is like a really big topic right now. I wanted to talk through, and with everything going on in the world, it's good to have other good leaders that I can be friends with online, and we'll meet in person again someday.
It's so hard nowadays to really find good leaders that are willing to take the risk. And this is interesting. Here you are as an entrepreneur, right? You started out, and I tell this to Scott all the time. The biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. That quote always hits real close to my heart, because a lot of times the bottlenecks that we have in our lives are the ones that we put upon ourselves. Oh, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough for this, or I'm not talented enough for this. But what are some of the examples that you face through your journey in leadership?
It's pretty cool because it just happened last December, and as everyone we do AI marketing, so everyone around me is getting into AI. I've been in AI for 2.5 years already, so wow. We've been the leader in AI. But as I'm seeing more and more people get on the bandwagon and the trend, we had a calling to say, open a local office, hire locally, and build real relationships. So we did. We opened a 4,000 square foot office. We do invite people here. We have an event space. We host podcasts. We get to shake people's hands. Multiple people have come from out of town just to come meet us face to face. I had a guy 3.5 hours from Charlotte. Didn't even tell me he was coming. He just walked in the front door, said surprise. So wow. As more and more people are focusing on AI and getting on that bandwagon, I love it. And CEOs, business leaders need to get on that bandwagon to grow their business. But at the same time, as everyone's going one way, go another way to build real relationships face to face, to where you can actually have a bigger impact on people. So that's been a huge change so far this year.
Man, I'm glad you said that about building relationships. That's one of the things that we strive at Thrones Leadership Group, is building that relationship with our clients, our customers, right? Because being a strong leader is about people. You got a lot of different personalities out there, right? And how do you react to certain situations is key, right? And it's addressing those situations with people and building that strong relationship. So that was a good key word there.
And I like how you guys, I named my business Automation Links, but now everyone thinks I'm in the automotive industry. So hopefully we didn't trick people there. Yeah. But I know you guys travel to your clients, and that's always so cool when I see you guys post about that and see that you're, on site, feet on the ground. Kind of takes away from the family life, which is a hard thing. But being able to meet people for however long, and that's just such a bigger impact, I feel.
Well, you bring up, absolutely, Brad, you bring up a great point. In our business, our line of business, I've seen Scott do this multiple times with turnarounds, is that, when you have the heart in the right place, and it is about people, a lot of times we'll walk into these manufacturing facilities that are working 7 days a week, right? How do you sustain a family in the U.S. or anywhere else when you're working 7 days a week, right? So when we come in, the efficiency and productivity is absolutely on our mind. And there's certain KPIs and things that we'll put on the floor to help. But really, under all that, the essentials and the thought process for us is, how can we look out for the people? Because the people are the number one asset in the organization. So the first time that we see an organization that's struggling, and a lot of times, look, we're not going to be called in because everything's going good, right? We're going to be called in because there's some issues, and somewhere along the way, they have ascertained the fact that they can't solve it, therefore they need to call somebody in. So we're boots on the ground with the ideology of understanding this sense of equity, with balanced life, with home life, and really, really looking out for the employees.
Just to touch on a point there, it's very rewarding, right? You feel rewarded, and you feel like, spending time away right, is going and having those situations happen when you're invited to their family, their son's game or their daughter's game. It's rewarding to us, right, because we travel, you know, and we're on the road. I was gone for 2 years, staying out in South Carolina. And how do we have the relationship still with my daughter or with my son or my wife, right? It's a lot of, you know, on the road videos or, you know, doing the FaceTime stuff, right? Communicating with them. And they always ask, like, you know, what'd you do today? And then I get to tell those stories about what I did and who I helped and how we got off the weekends, right? Because the plant was going from 60 hours a week down to, you know, 50 and then down to 40 hours a week. So they can have that family time with their family. And it's great for me to be present with those and show that I'm engaged and, you know, in supporting things that they want to do on the weekend that they weren't able to do before. And it's just awesome, man. It's really rewarding, you know. So
It sure cool. is. Sure is.
Now, are you guys seeing a big change with leadership positions as well as more and more people get either burnout or maybe stuck in the past? I wanted to touch on this story that is happening in our industry. And I actually heard it at dinner last night. A CEO was talking to his wife and I overheard it. He said, man, all of our employees are just writing emails with AI. I can't stand it. And that pulled on a trigger for me because I believe that my team should actually be using AI. And I told them they need to be using it 80% of their day. And if they're not, they're wasting my salary. They can get off work early if they want. And so what I'm really seeing is a lot of CEOs and head people that are refusing to get on this next wave. They're wasting time. They're inefficient. They're working 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
When people right underneath them are using AI, they're getting better work done. They're using it right. They're building up their team the right way. Right. And they're just jumping positions like crazy right now in my industry.
I agree with you. I mean, AI will make their life more efficient if they use it properly, right? Because a lot of companies right now are reacting to try to implement AI without processes and procedures and your data stored. And
I'm going to sell myself a little bit here. We saw that as a big problem. So we've actually created an AI agent for ourselves and for our clients that we give it my YouTube videos. And it's fully trained on everything I've said in my videos only. So if you just go to ChatGPT and you ask it a question, it's not trained on your words that you've said and you've spoken. So plug my YouTube video in, I can plug this podcast in here, and it reads everything I say, and it only speaks based on what I said in the transcription. No AI, no M dashes, no emojis, because I don't use emojis very often. But that's, I think even the difference there is, are you using AI to write AI or are you using your own voice and to save you time? So instead of writing it, I'm saying it. I even walk on the treadmill and talk, just turn the audio recorder on, just talk. And that turns into all my emails and social media posts for the week, me just speaking.
Wow, that's efficient. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
So if somebody if somebody that's viewing our podcast here, how do they reach out to Brad Smith? How do they get a hold of you to want to inquire about your services here?
Well, I want everyone to just start on YouTube, watch my YouTube videos. They're all about just teaching you exactly what you want to learn. So education, education, education. And if they learn something, usually I find people learn from me. And then they say, I don't have time to do it on my own, so I'll just click on the website link. But my YouTube channel, Brad Smith Coach, is the best place. And we teach everything from AI to AI SEO showing up in ChatGPT search results. But only using your words, because AI is going to be detectable. Just like the guy I heard over dinner. All my employees are using AI to write their emails. Well, if he took the time to train them to just speak on audio to write the emails, they would be authentic, they would be real, they would be relational, and it wouldn't be AI. AI would help speed it up and do it right, but it wouldn't be coming from an AI bot.
All right, that's impressive.
As we close, hey, Brad, thanks a lot for being able to share your expertise with us, and so grateful to be able to have a couple minutes with you.